They're 20 yards from us, laying down. The little one's got his pick gun. Wind is just skimming them. The grass won't let me range it. Wind. Tape it. Get comfortable so you don't have to move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Alright, so we got up to 20 yards on these rams. The tough thing is when you're stalking them in this grass with smooth tops, there's no structure for you to sneak in and peek through or draw back through. It's just wide open, like hunting plains game, only you're on the top of a mountain like this. Now, right now, these rams don't know what we are, and they're trying to make a decision. They're waiting for the older ram to make a decision. Hopefully, they decide to come towards us. And they think we're sheep. No sooner said than done. Okay, here we go. Don't move.
Brr! When is it gonna get warm? Man. When I get back? I got back last night. Then went straight into, for all my trade friends out there and whoever else is familiar with homes or building homes and logs and wood and all that stuff. We bought this place and the people who had it before us were absolutely out to lunch. I'm not saying that being mean, it's just unfortunate that I got to find out all the past history about the filthy bastard that owned the place. A friend of mine lives just down the road, good friend of mine, and another friend lives up the other road. And this guy, there's a poor single mom that lives in the next farm over, and she has a disabled son all by herself. And this weirdo that owned this place was peeping in her window and taking pictures of it, and got caught doing the same thing at another fellow's house over here. And apparently she put cameras out and called the cops, and then put cameras out, and he shot her house with a shotgun. This old creepy bastard. And he had a wife too. So I knew all that going into buying this place. So I can't help myself with the bad guys. I kind of made a few things difficult for him in the beginning. But anyway, as I'm going, trying to fix all of the nasty shit around this place, it's just amazing. The signature of somebody who's not right between the ears is everywhere. Especially if you're a tradesperson, you just see it and go, what the hell? As an example, you know what a hinge is. The regular hinge on a gate, right? A hinge on this side, hinge on that side, right? It'd be like 5 screw holes in here, 5 in there. Almost every single screw would be a different driver, right? So Robertson, Phillips, straight screws. All 5 different screws, all different lengths, all different drives. And they do the same over here. Actually, I'll bite my lip because I could go on forever with all the examples. It's just so many different examples of what the hell, what the hell, what the hell, what the hell. Not a straight piece of wood anywhere. Anyway, so they built this log home, had this log package. Built the log home, and in the end, they put turquoise, they painted the cedar fascia turquoise. It's amazing. It's just like, all right, we're going to build this beautiful home, and in the very end, after we get it all done, put on the cedar shingles up there on the top wall, I know, let's paint the cedar fascia turquoise. Said no rational thinking mind ever. All right, that's my ride for the day. So I spent the whole day, I rented a man lift, and Sarah and I both spent the whole day. At first, I tore off a bunch of the fascia to paint it in the shop. Then we decided it looked like we were going to get lucky. It wasn't going to rain this afternoon. And we managed to paint all of the fascia black, fixed it, and it started raining literally on the last swing of the brush. So there you go, there's my rant. My rant of the day, and it's kind of freezing the whole day long. It's crazy. Anyway. All right, here we go. This is, oh, hold on a minute, back it up. I just caught an email from our friend Scott, whose wife unfortunately they discovered the brain tumor, and we've been trying to send him our warm thoughts, and he let us know that she's gone, her health has turned for the worse, so it's unfortunate. We'll still send our best wishes, and just so you know, my man, nothing is hard. It's not hard. It's not hard to mention somebody. It's not hard to ask for prayers, good thoughts from the people all here. It's not a hard thing to do at all. All right, just so you know, that's what I hope. I hope to think that this channel is geared up to helping people. Normally, that's the whole theme of everybody here, right? So there you go. Our well wishes go to you and your partner, regardless of what stage it is at today. It doesn't change the way any of us will feel, or the good wishes that we'll send your way, all right? Now, sharing some emails. I gotta get moving, it's late. And I promised to take the gang to go get him some ice cream. Because it's cold out, right? But listen to this. I always look forward to hearing from Brian Stidham. Brian has been getting the Ojibwe Elders' Diaries translated as smoothly as he can, as clearly as he can, and he has been so frickin' generous in sharing this with all of us. It's ridiculous. And here is the latest from him, all right? I am looking forward to reading this. Here we go. This is titled Adoption. One of the warnings I was given from Mr. Ash's diary and an Ojibwe elder. Good morning, good sir. The following is from an email I sent you with other items attached back in May, but I learned this past week of another individual who has had an encounter with the wilderness people in the UP of Michigan, and it's not his first. I'm trying to have him email you in hopes of getting this off his chest. He can find confidence in moving forward. He told me he would give it some thought and let me know. I told him there's no reason to let me know, just email you and the folks on this channel, and the folks on this channel will be there for him. His name is Morgan. I was told I could use his name and he will use it in the email. Right on. Morgan, just do it, dude. Just do it. This place, the cat's out of the bag here. It's the safest place on the planet to share your shit. There is literally hundreds of thousands of people who've seen the same thing you unfortunately just did, and they're all here. All right? The cat's out of the bag. There's nothing to be scared of. Looking forward to hearing it, all right? Now, after talking to him and what he told me, the following can be the situation he's in now. Now, here's the warning of spiritual adoption from Mr. Ash's diary and an Ojibwe elder from Minnesota, from an email sent on May 2nd, 2022. Quote, I had a long conversation with an Ojibwe elder in Minnesota that enlightened me on a question that myself and many others have made reference to on your channel. I've heard many make a reference of being tagged or marked by the wilderness people. It can be a lot deeper than that. The elder told me that the Sabe can / have and will adopt individuals. They see something in our character that they like or worse dislike and adopt us spiritually. They learn to know all about those they adopt by seeing their soul, as it was told to me. Excuse me. So, what happens when we're adopted? We're introduced to the whole family as a new member of the family. Now, as we know, not all families are Ozzy and Harriet. We can have some relatives that are not the best of human beings. We can have a crazy uncle, or a lush aunt, or a total asshat for a stepfather. In other words, every family is going to have some members we learn to keep our distance from. It's the same way the Sabe act towards those they adopt. Most folks will never know of this new family member. The Sabe will watch over them from afar like guardians. Others will let their presence be known to the individual by a sound, letting the adopted member see them. And many of the Ojibwe and others who have seen these people have stated they have seen them in dreams, or closed their eyes to go to sleep and see the eyes of Sabe staring at them. It's as though they're right in front of you, staring deep into your eyes. And some have described it as staring into their soul. With folks writing in that believe these people follow them, there may be a lot of facts there in their statements. It's not that the Sabe that adopted you is following them. It could be the asshole cousin that knows who you are and couldn't care less if you live or die. It's not just the Sabe the elder spoke of either, but also the little people. They too will adopt us. In most of these instances, you will never know your little family members following you in the woods unless you're lost and call on them for help. The Ojibwe elders have said that the Anishinaabe, this word means the people or the first people. It's how the Ojibwe describe themselves. The Ojibwe have 4 languages: spoken, written, pictograph, and the mind language. The Ojibwe speak to the spirits through their mind, like the way we silently pray. So, in order to call on the Sabe or the little people when we need their help, what needs to be done is to call upon them in our minds with humility, honesty and sincerity. And it is said, they will hear us and come to us in a time of desperate need. I told you this is deep. I told the elder of the mental midgets knocking on trees and roaring into the night, and after a few derogatory words about their mental stability, the elder said they could be calling their own demise. To make Sabe or little people pissed at you, and as they see it, idiots mocking them. It can become a tormenting situation for those numbnuts. I would not want to tempt fate and piss off these people of the woods that they may see us as a nuisance and a tick on the ass of life and pop my head like a balloon. No shit. Now, for those who have seen and know these people are here and have continuing occurrence with these people, you can have no better friend to watch over you. For the most part, those that are adopted, they will never know an 8 to 10 foot being is watching you as soon as you enter the woods. You could walk through the entire forest and not feel them. Then again, you could be walking through the woods and you know you're not alone, as they give us a touch on our soul. The words of the elder. Let me read that again. Then again, you could be walking through the woods and know you're not alone, as they give us a, quote, touch on our soul, end quote. The words of the elder. The sense of dread, the uneasy feeling of being watched, have something thrown towards you but not directly at you. It's a kindred warning. There's something there or someone you're being warned about. Maybe it's the crazy uncle or worse. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Those that are adopted due to their own nefarious tendencies, I will pray for them. If they see an individual as a poor excuse of a human being, well, who knows what may happen. I'm willing to bet it won't be good. I ask if there is a respectful way of learning if I had been adopted, what can I do to acknowledge them and basically just say hello and thank you for watching over me? I was told to bring an offering of tobacco and sweetgrass to the forest and lay it where it can be seen. And if they are not there at the time, but should I feel that they are there, I needed to present the offering with a sincere thank you for being here. I will never cause you harm or disrespect, and I can ask for you to do the same towards me. I was also told I should give an offering every time I hunt. to make it known to them that I'm here to feed my family and myself. I'm not here to be cruel or impede on you. Please help me if you can. Once we're adopted, the entire family will know about us. No matter if the crazy uncle or asshole stepfather is in Ontario and one is in BC, the family knows where family members are. How interesting is this? Huh? Every one of these emails from Mr. Ash is very, very frickin' interesting. I'm planning to have another conversation with the same elder next weekend. I want to ask why some of the wilderness people despise canines. I have my own theory, but when it comes to these people, the old saying, theories are like assholes, some are bigger than others. I see what Mr. Ash meant when he wrote, I'll receive many warnings when it comes to these people. It's about learning respect for them, and that's hard as hell when the world is being told they're just a myth. Sadly, when some finally learn the truth, it's the last lesson they ever learn. I'm still working on the translation of these diaries. When I have completed doing so, I'm going to share it with all the public. I do not believe in profiting on knowledge. I'm not a writer, and writing a book could drive me crazy. My hat's off to you for doing so. Those who have ears to hear and eyes open to fact and not indoctrination, as you say, take from it what you will. We have been asking the wrong people for information about the Sabbath. The original copies of these diaries I'm giving to the Ojibwe. Their younger generations need to be taught. The truth has been with us the whole time. It's the native elders and native people of the land. Oh my God, thank God you're doing that. That makes me do like a jumping jacks, jump up and down. Fucking right. Good move. It all starts with the kids. It doesn't matter, native, it doesn't matter. Any change for the better starts with the children at this point of the game. It's the only way. It's the only way. Thank God you're doing that, man. I applaud you big time. There's so much more to come. Take care up there. Just remember, if you know they're there and feel them, tell them your intentions. They know what they are already. They know what they are already. But coming from you solidifies your heart. Take care and have a safe journey. Sincerely, Brian Stidham. Mitakuye Oasis. All my relations. Brian, I can't say simple words don't describe how much I appreciate you, man. And as a side note, I've been saying that before I go into the woods for I don't know how many years now. And I don't know, nobody ever told me to do that. I just kind of felt motivated to do that on my own. That one time when I was actually, we're talking 15 years ago, when I actually intentionally tried to pursue these people and basically had my ass handed to me in a way. It scared the shit out of me. And that's when I'm just like, okay, I'm good. I know you're here. You know I'm here. I'm not going on my way to look for you. I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone. I don't need to try to get a video of you. Just please leave me alone, let me be, and I'll let you be, and we're good. I basically have said that if I'm not saying it out loud in the morning in the dark by myself in the middle of nowhere, I'm saying it in my mind. And I've been doing that for a long time. And I think me personally, I will get little notifications of their presence, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year maybe, possibly, and a few of those incidents have been caught on video, coincidentally. But yeah, I think we've been telling everybody to do that for quite some time, right? Just tell them flat out, they're there, you know they are there, they know you're here, and just keep living your life, right? To all you who are listening and you're a little confused or maybe scared to go back out, just keep living your life no matter what. Anyway, rambling, enough of me talking. Brian, I can't wait for you to send us more, right? I can't wait. That's got to be some of the most interesting emails I've heard yet. It's coming from Mr. Ash through you. So appreciated. Such a good move. making sure that all those children get that knowledge. That is huge, huge move. All right, here we go. What else we got? It's titled The Woods People. Hi there, Steve. Just want to tell someone about my experiences at my farm in Tennessee. I just want to tell what's been going on over here the past few years. I don't feel like I can really have a discussion with any person I know about it. You know, the way friends sit around a table and just accept what you're saying? Yeah, there's no person I can chat with. I just more or less like to tell the stories and get it out there. You're at the right place, and you got a pile of good friends right here, so let her rip. These beings, as you describe, or woods people, as I've started calling them, are ranging through my farm. I've not seen one, my son has, but it may not be long before I do too. The background of my place is that I'm building an off-grid house near Norris Lake in Tennessee. I have solar panels, and I don't really believe in lighting the place up like a runway at night. I live in a cabin till the house is done, and at night I appreciate the stars being visible. I like to do things naturally without scabbing up my land. And one of my hobbies is foraging in the forest for wild food. There's something to eat up there basically all year, and given the climate, forest is like a rainforest in the summer. I've identified places where there is reliable food available at different times of the year. The nutrition that you can get from plants that are deep-rooted and growing in the forest soil is pretty amazing. I raise my own meat, chicken and sheep, and occasionally get deer meat from the friends who hunt. I'm up there a lot. I'm happiest when I'm outside. But anyhow, here's a list of the things that have happened in the past 3 years. Number 1. My oldest son, about 12 years old, 3 years ago, popped his head out of a deer blind window to look up the hill. It was on the neighboring farm property, and there's a hill about a half a mile away, and he saw a large, dark, human-like figure striding across the hayfield and dirt road going up the hill. He immediately said it was Bigfoot. The family friend that was with him acted like he was crazy. He said it was too big to be a human and pretty much dark all over. I believe my son pretty much because my experience in the forest has me convinced that we don't really know jack about being out there. Let's just say humans are so separated from the natural world that we don't notice things. I started to develop a feeling that there's a lot more out there going on, and we don't even know how to look at stuff the right way to be able to consider more than just a percentage of all the possibilities. I agree. About the time we finished the timber frame on the house, I started camping out there so I could start working on the house at sunrise. I put up a 6-person tent and would camp there on the weekend. Sometimes my kids would stay with me in the tent, and sometimes it would just be me by myself. At that point, we still had our house in the city, which was an hour drive away. One Saturday night, I'd say late June, maybe 2016, 2015, I just woke up in the middle of the night, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure if I had heard something or had an odd feeling that just startled me out of my sleep. I was by myself, but what I heard next was unbelievable. There's a hill line about a half a mile out from us, the same hillside where my son saw it, on the farm next door. I heard a scream, not a person scream, not an owl, and it's not a coyote. It's not even a mountain lion. I know what all those things sound like. This sounded like a human, but louder and deeper, and resonating like it came out of the big chest cavity and lungs. The interesting part of it next is that the scream repeated about 5 more times, originating in sequence from several places along the ridgeline. It sounded like something was screaming as it ran in bursts. I know it wasn't any human because it covered the distance of that entire ridgeline in seconds and letting out a holler every so often as it moved. There's no human that can run that fast. There's no officially recognized animal that I know that can make that sound. What felt really creepy about it was somehow it felt like those screams were directed at me, alone in my tent down below. I was meant to hear those. I told a couple of friends about this, and of course I got the blank stare. One person told me it was a screech owl. And I told her I never heard a baritone screech owl before. A baritone screech owl before. Number 3, our chickens are kept out in the hayfield in portable chicken coops that we move with the pickup truck every few days. On the far edge of the hayfield is a sinkhole. This part of Tennessee has a lot of underground cave structures that often collapse, and this sinkhole is about 5 acres of land. It's an old sinkhole, still sliding down, but stable enough that an 18-inch diameter trees are growing all through it. On the rim closest to my farm is a big patch of pawpaw trees, and those things have really delicious fruit. Anyhow, my sons were out feeding the chickens at those portable coops near the side that had the pawpaws. Never heard of those myself. As the boys were going in to feed the chickens, something in the woods in the patch of pawpaws let out a sequence of terrible growls. The boys said they were really deep growls, really loud, and made them feel a panic feeling inside their gut. The boys ran out of that field. They don't really like going to that part of the woods anymore. I used to have them pick fruit for me, but they've not been back since they got growled at. I guess not. Number 4, our farm is covered in blackberry bushes. Every year I pick several gallons to do a jam of wine and juice. There's a good patch over near that sinkhole not too far from where the pawpaws are. I was out there one afternoon picking when I noticed that small pebbles were being thrown at me. They weren't hitting me, but weren't falling through the blackberries, and I could hear them bouncing off the leaves and hitting the ground. I didn't feel particularly threatened, but I knew immediately what was going on. There was a woods person nearby, and I was getting their blackberries. By this time, I developed a sense that I needed to make peace with myself, and these people are out here. I decided at that moment that I would sing a song. The pebble throwing stopped, and I kept picking the blackberries till my bucket was full. Keep in mind that I could pick for a lifetime and probably not clean off those bushes. There were so many berries out here. I honestly got the impression that this being was just fooling with me. I'd say so too, for sure. There's starting to be a pattern of collisions with these guys in important food areas. Number 5, my 13-year-old daughter reports that something tapped its fingernails on her sleeping loft window one night, and her window is at least 12 feet off the ground. Number 6, our temporary cabin is off-grid. We have no air conditioning and no central heat. In the summertime, all the windows are open. I like to look out the window, look at the stars in my loft if I'm not able to sleep. I also like to listen to the sound of the forest at night through the open window. No air conditioner and no neighbors makes for a pretty quiet evening in the summertime. I often hear yells in the woods closer to the lakefront. One time there was a deep baritone howl. It went on for several seconds, and just as I decided that it was a woods person, the sound mutated into a coyote yip. Tricky. That's pretty common too. That's really, really common. That happens all the time. I don't really think that I figured out how to coexist with these guys yet. I hope that my deep respect for the natural world can resonate with them maybe in a small way, because I think they're a smart and reasoning bunch. There's so much wild food around here. Blackberries, wild cherries, autumn olive, pawpaws, black walnuts, hazelnuts, persimmons, acorns, passion fruit, maypops, the list goes on. The thing I appreciate, they rely on. Of course, I've also planted an extensive apple orchard up on top of one of the hills, and I've not even yet mentioned the edible foliage plants, mushrooms, herbs, and medicinal plants that are all over the place. I don't think it's too big of a stretch to try to further develop an etiquette around taking my desired share of this food. I always operate under the principle of taking no more than 10% of what I see. Hopefully I won't be considered a jerk in their eyes. I think you're pretty good so far. You would have been ran out of there a long time ago, from what we hear from other people, right? I don't get the impression that they're here all the time. Of course, there's a better than average probability that I'm wrong about that. My impression is that they pass through here and they're on a route to gather food. By the way, I've looked over these structures the woods people supposedly build, and I've never found one. I've never found anything moving, but there are a lot of broken trees out in the forest. I'm really not interested in contacting Bigfoot investigators. Why would something/someone that belongs here first need to be investigated? Not really interested in broadcasting my stories, more or less just hoping I can put it out there in a summary and know that it's with someone that will accept it. Still looking for that person I can openly discuss it with in person around here and theorize and try to figure it out. Kind regards, Jen. Appreciate it, Jen. I hope that helped. I'm certain it did. I'm sharing it with everybody here. And you know what? Hopefully, okay, if you've got all that activity going on your property, 100% guaranteed other people in your community knows about these beings in the forest. There's no way they don't. So, I don't know if you heard me say it in the past or not, but when you come across what I do, I'm always coming across people in the woods all the time. People that work in the woods, people that work on remote Coast Guard fisheries, hunters, fishermen, and I don't care who it is. I always pop the question just by squaring up with them, looking them square in the eye and just saying, hey, have you ever come across anything kind of odd in the woods or heard any stories or anything like that? Heard things, seen things by any chance? And if they have any knowledge at all about these beings in the woods, that'll trigger. They know exactly what I'm talking about when they know, and they spill, and then we have a good conversation. And that's how you start it. So if you do that in your community, you are going to find people who have seen and experienced exactly what your son's seen and what you've heard and experienced, without a doubt. So, and if you do find that conversation one day, Jen, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people here that'd be curious to hear how it went. And yeah, I'm sure maybe possibly there's probably a good chance of the people in your community who are aware are probably watching this channel. And if they are, maybe you want to drop a comment in the comment section below in this video and direct it at Jen, and maybe you could all link up sometime and have a good conversation, possibly, right? But anyway, that was a good little quick babble, but I gotta get going. I got some girls that want to go get some ice cream. Then back tomorrow. What is it, Tuesday or something, Monday? I don't even know what day it is. But we'll be heading back out to the coast, I think, soon for about 5 or 6 days straight. And I'll be getting more shares done. And another thing I'm thinking about I might possibly do is, I don't know why, but as soon as my buddy told me about seeing that Sasquatch in the wall brim, he said it had his hands on top of the stump, right behind a big fir stump in a clear cut, looking at him over the stump. And he said it was just sat there frozen, not moving, for about 10 minutes. And he looked at his binoculars at 200 yards. And his dad was with him too. He goes, oh, my dad's half blind. And he said they turned around and took off, and he's never going back. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to run it by him because I'll be talking to him soon. And I am curious. I'm curious about where that is. I'm going to see if he would possibly want to go back there with me. We'll go together. And I just want to, I'm curious about, I'm familiar with that area. I'm just curious about exactly where to the area geographically that being was blatantly looking at him from outside in a logged area. So that tells me he wanted him to see him, without a doubt. And he was standing his ground, sitting there with his hands in the stump, not moving, not running. And he had a rifle, and so did his dad. So that's interesting to me. That almost makes me think, it's almost like him sitting in that clear cut basically was him saying, this is the line right where I am. That's the feeling I get from it. So what I'm saying is, I'm interested in seeing geographically where that line would be and what is on the other side of it for miles. I want to see it, and I'm going to see if he wants to go. If he does, I'll go with him. And no sneaking around, no guns, just drive right up there, have a look, point out where it went down, let me have a look at it, and we'll leave. No banging on trees or whooping in the night. Or leaving a trail camera over a Snickers bar. Anyway, here you go. That's our video for today. I've got so many frickin' stories in that phone, it's stupid. And I finally separated it, like, you know, I put red in front of it, and now I've made another folder for red, and they all go into there, and I think that folder right now has 1,500 red in it, and the notes folder where all the new ones are, I think there was 970 something. And then there's still another folder in one of my email addresses that has 1,200 in it that I haven't read yet. And then there's, because all of the people, they've gone and found every single email address that's linked to the domain howtohunt.com, and any email, there's stories in there. So then when I get the time, I'll check each individual email, which is like 5 of them, and then I'll go back and I'll check all the spam folders in all 5 of them. So, and all those emails have dozens of stories in each one of them, on top of this and on top of that other folder. So there, that gives you an idea of what's going on. Not to mention how many have been read so far. I think there's actually some pinheads out there that actually think that I make up all these emails and read them to you. Could you imagine your brain being that simple, that your brain would actually be convinced that I am making all this shit up? Holy shit. You poor bastards out there who are stuck in that place. I do not envy you for 1 second. Can you imagine if your mind was operating on that level? But anyway, let me get out of here. I'm babbling away. I gotta get out of here. But yeah, there you go. That's how many stories are coming in. That is how much out of the bag the secret is. It's not a secret anymore. It's not a myth. It's not a legend. It's fact. And this shit goes down every single day in North America. Every province, every state. Not to mention the rest of the world. And that's all there is to it. And shame on all you dirty, filthy pricks who shunned people's honest stories, shunned the details of what they saw, changed stories, or kept them hidden from the people after they bravely came forward and contacted you to do that, looking for some kind of comfort and safety and relief. So people wonder why I have zero respect for those pricks who do that to people. Figure it out. You've seen, you've heard the damage this can do to people psychologically, right? You've seen how insecure and how scared people are to come forward and share their experience. You imagine the impact on those people when they contact a group of individuals who claim to be experts on this topic, and they get shit on, swept under the carpet, their stories changed, or even worse, directly humiliated. So that's why I have zero respect for those pricks, especially that one fat loser. Zero. All right, I gotta go. I'm getting aggro. Gotta get out of here. See you guys tomorrow. Share my story at howtohunt.com.